Afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Daniela, and I represent, I'm from Soul Vegetarian Cafe and Bakery located here in Kenya. Everything we do is vegan, so I'm going to demonstrate to you something that we made. So we're going to make some battered eggplant today because we need to know that um, just because we're vegans does not mean that we cannot enjoy the food that we eat. We do not eat meat. We do not eat anything that comes from an animal. Um, Everything we eat is vegetable based. We still enjoy all the things that we do. So, for instance, she bring it in. The battered eggplant. It looks like fried chicken or chicken fingers or chicken sticks. I'm going to show you that in a second. And when you're eating meat or when you're cooking meat and seasoning meat, the main thing that gives meat flavor is two things. One, the seasoning, and two, the blood that's in the meat. So what I've done is taken the seasoning that you would use to fry chicken, and I'm going to use it on eggplant. So the end result, for those of us who don't know anything about veganism or is new to veganism, um, first thing you have to remember, unless something is from an animal, like dairy or the actual flesh of an animal, it's vegetable based, it's vegan. That's the first thing. So the seasoning that we're going to use is all vegan. So you just slice up your eggplant. You could also do this with cauliflower. You could even do this with potatoes. And you could slice it however you like. For instance, I'm doing it like this because I wanted the sticks. But you could also do it in blocks. And so what you do, just like you would do fried chicken, you get a wet batter and a dry batter. Now, just like you would season your batter for fried chicken or fried fish, it's the same way you would season your batter to batter a vegetable or even tofu. For those of us who eat tofu, I love tofu, so you can do the same thing with battered tofu. So here, I like to use a wet batter and a dry batter because when you do that, it allows the crunchiness of your eggplant when you fry it, and it gives it a nice consistency. And it's ready. I'm hoping. So you dip your vegetable in your wet batter. In this case, I'm gonna double dip it. Then you put it in your dry batter. That you dip it twice in your wet batter and your dry batter. Thank you. And can I have another napkin, please?
What's the flour made of?
The flour is made of paprika, pili pili hoho. That's it, right? Paprika, garlic powder, danajira seasoning, coriander, sea salt. I don't use table salt in anything that I cook with because table salt is very bad for you. Um, I use sea salt. I use table salt to actually wash the vegetables. That actually wash your vegetables better than soap because what that will do, it actually get to any insects that it's already in the vegetables that's what you're washing off, along with any toxins. But when you use the vinegar and the table salt or even baking soda, it pulls the any insects, any worms or anything that's there. But you could also do cauliflower, you could do potatoes, you could do any vegetable that you like. You can do it the same way. You see it's frying and crunching up already. You can see the crust on it already. That's the flour. So just like you do chicken or fish, if you fry fish, you can see the same thing happening. Simple, it's quick, it's easy, the cleanup is a lot better, and it's healthy. And it's delicious. I have to put that in there too. So the longest process of this is the actual making of your seasonings on your batter. In this particular batter, I use flour and corn flour. So for some people that have allergies to wheat, corn flour does a very good batter also. You could just use corn flour or even any gluten-free or wheat-free flour, and you get the same process and the same consistency. I must add, I use soy milk. You could also use almond milk or any nut source or any kind of milk that you choose. Probably even coconut milk. I haven't tried it with that though, but I'm pretty sure you could use that. It gives the batter a milkier consistency. So, but you could also just use water and oil. And you can see it crusted up very nicely. So the wet batter gives it a nicer crust. Also, I double dip it because it gives it a nicer crust then also. You don't have to, but that's just, I like it. I like mine's nice and crunchy with a thick crust on it. An eggplant is very cost effective. It's also high in nutrients. So it'll still fill you up, especially if you're a meat eater and you're trying to figure out how you could have eggplant and still be full. It still fills you up very nicely, because what tends to happen is when your body's hungry, what fills you up more than the food itself is the nutrients in the food. So because it's nutrient dense and it's nutrient rich, the eggplant will actually fill you up better, and better in the sense that it does not, when you eat meat, it tends to weigh you down, or, you feel a little heavier when you eat it. When you eat vegetable-based meals, you still get full, but you're not so weighed down. Your stomach isn't so bloated, and you don't feel so heavy, because the vegetable is actually giving your body nutrients, which is what your body's asking for, is nutrients. So it'll fill it up better, and it'll be happier because you're eating the vegetable.